trance is a thing. I think it's obvious and evident. I just read an article about how trance is a thing. Of course it's a thing. Let's talk about it. Let's come to understand it. We all have minds, and we all go in and out of trance all the time. I think it's high time we understand what this thing is. So the way that I use trance, hello, I'm Mark, I'm a hypnotherapist, and I like to teach my clients about trance. I like them to understand it so they can guide their own trance and participate in the work. We all have minds. I think we want to understand trance. I specialize in trauma and early life trauma and the trauma of meditators. Trance is an integral thing that we really want to understand. A hypnotherapist can only do so much in a couple hours, but if we have skills that we can use throughout our life, so much the better. So wonderful. Understanding trance is probably the most underrated skill, and it's crazy because we have all this self-development, spiritual practice, and no one's really making trance clearly evident for what it is. It's woven into these practices and the practice of psychology. So this article that I read, fascinating. They're saying, yeah, trance is a real thing. Hypnosis is real. It's known to be very good for, well, IBS. Like, yeah, okay, it's great for IBS, also for quitting smoking. And it's central and integral for working with trauma because trauma is the activation of a trance state following a trigger that was overwhelming in the past. And the resolution of trauma involves a trance state that changes the unconscious mind. Always. It's just how it works. I'm going to define trance very simply. This may be novel. This is not a common way of looking at it. And it's the way that I look at it that makes everything make so much sense. Trance is when your conscious and your unconscious mind are doing the same thing. Period. It's like not a weird thing. It's a thing that happens. We're not going to notice when it's happening because we're not aware of the unconscious mind. It's unaware. It's unconscious. But as a hypnotherapist, I am trained to notice what the unconscious mind is doing. And I can see when the conscious mind and the unconscious mind are doing the same thing. And certain properties become available when that's the case. One is the unconscious mind becomes impressionable. When the conscious mind and the unconscious mind are doing the same thing, then we can start to influence the unconscious mind. When the conscious mind says no, like the rapport is broken, the unconscious mind won't change. So you can see how this would be very valuable for meditation, personal development, etc. And it really does get included a lot, but they don't tend to mention that, yeah, we're putting you into a trance here, right? So this article is fascinating in the sense of like, wow, yeah, we really are so clueless. It was saying, for instance, that it raised the question, I'm smiling a little bit, is hypnosis better than the placebo? It was like, why do you think the placebo is effective? The placebo is unreasonably effective. Any effective medicine needs to be more than the placebo. But the placebo is already significantly good. Like it's really a pretty powerful medicine. How is that not hypnosis? The thing is, we're going in and out of trance all the time. That's the thing. As a hypnotherapist, I never try to put someone into trance. Why bother? We're going into trance anyway. Talk about what's meaningful and you go into the trance of what's meaningful. And consider that we live in this consumeristic society. You know, imagine like, ooh, look at that white ball. Oh, I've got to have a white ball like that. That's a trance state. You don't need a white ball. Like everything that we think we want, we're being manipulated by billboards and advertisements and going into trance states that's cultivating our craving and our needing. And the algorithms are doing it. Like, welcome to human life. We want to recognize our mind and how it's being impressioned. And really, as much as we can, we want to take control of our mind and enjoy it, because our minds are amazing. And trance opens the door to that. So I hope this is useful to give some ideas about how I view trance. If there's any comments, I'll try to speak to them. Thanks. Best to you. Bye-bye.